How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing. Always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about Lucid Group. I just took a look at the stock and I saw how it was moving in after hours, and I must say, wow, congratulations to everyone who was able to catch my videos, buy it on the dip, and we are now enjoying a nice run up. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you are a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. How far can this run actually continue? We're going to be covering all of that, especially since we do have the quad witching that's going down tomorrow. And then we're going to be taking a look at Fintel, seeing the recent short interest information. What are the changes? Are shorts still heavily vested in this play? We're going to find all of that out. And then we're going to take a look at the order flow distribution. Are institutions loading up on shares, or are they selling out their positions? We know it's definitely been a volatile week, and we want to see how has the behavior been in regards to large scale orders. And then when all of that is done, we'll be going into the final thoughts and as well as some more details that I want to share with you guys. So we're going to do a technical analysis for Lucid Group. Let's see how it performed on the day. So ended up closing at $21.17, being up 6.33%. On the low, it tested $20.36, and then on the high, testing $21.60. Taking a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 43.389 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days being at 24.995 million shares. We definitely had above average volume on the day, and is part of the reasons why we saw some appreciation in the stock price. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is a 1-year daily chart, you can see from the RSI down below, we are at 52.37. So we are carrying up some momentum here. We were at lows here, you can see right at 40, and even having a low back here at the beginning of September being under 30, just to be 26.59 to be exact. Now, when we take a look at our moving averages on the chart, you can see here we have strength above the 21-day EMA, and this is what I love to see, but we are below all of our other moving averages, which is the 50-day, the 100-day, and as well as the 200-day. But we are picking up some steam. So one thing I really love seeing, that we were able to actually maintain the support here right at this $20 level. Even when the market was looking fairly rough, we were holding it down, and we were able to make that move up until we started seeing some selling pressure here around $21.60. So this is a level, if we end up retesting it again going into tomorrow, I'd like to see some more moves and make that move going to $22. Of course, this would be a resistance area, also a psychological area, because you know what, it's been a minute since we've been there, especially since we've had that dip. So one thing to take in mind, I know this will bring a lot of attention from traders and push this price up. So we're on Fintel. We're going to take a look at the recent short interest information for Lucid. So scrolling down on the page, the short shares availability is at 2.9 million, updated 9 minutes ago, and the short borrow free rate is at 1.36%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we can see for the close of the 13th, it's at 29.36. On the close of the 14th, it was at 36.10, and then for the close of the 15th, it was at 37.06. So we could see it is definitely creeping up there, but one thing it tells us is that Lucid has short squeeze potential, but also as far as for the overall market sentiment, they're saying that the stock needs to come down. So I just want to make sure you're aware of that, and if you are inside of this play, you should be used to the volatility already. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for Lucid. So we can see on the inflow is at 196, and then on the outflow it was 167. So we had 0 on the large for both. On the medium for the inflow side we had 115, and then on the small we had 80.68, and then on the outflow side you could see for the medium we had 92.15, and then for the small we had 74.71. So we had a surplus in regards to on the inflow side, on the small, and as well as on the medium. Of course, it was 0 0 for the large. When we take a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, like we saw, it was 0 for September the 16th, which is today, but we ended up having a big outflow on the 15th. So taking all this into consideration, it is great to see that we had an overall inflow day. There's still a lot of interest for Lucid shares on the retail side, and hey, institutions could be actually getting in on the medium scale orders, not taking large positions. So that's one thing that you want to be aware of. So now let's jump into the final thoughts, and we'll go over some more details as well. So for my final thoughts for Lucid, I'm excited going into tomorrow. We are seeing a lot of strength in the after hours. At the time of this recording, it is around 6 o'clock. So this is something that is good to see. And I know many of you gave me a lot of flack when I was saying, hey, wait for the dip. You want to time your entry. Many of us got in when it was at the $16 range. I was able to add some shares when it was below 16 in the pre-market. And I know you're really excited right now seeing that, hey, you timed your entry and now you're seeing some good profits. Now, as far as what I want to go over, when we went on Fintel, we can see we continue to have short squeeze potential. So if we end up getting catalyst, which I'm going to talk about inside this video, we could see a strong move to the upside. And one thing that I want to talk about, it has been quite the week. First, we have Morgan Stanley that comes out and says, you know what, Lucid, here's your price target of $12. But then afterwards, we have Bank of America that gives a price target of $30 and then says, you know what, Lucid is a combination of Tesla and as well as Ferrari. So I'm like, wow. So just hearing that overall in general, we can see as far as analysts are concerned, there's some who are bullish and then some who are bearish. But with all of that said, the biggest news that did come out today was that we got an official EPA rating of 520 miles, which is the best for any electric vehicle on the road. When I was taking a look at the press release, they were saying that they were beating out Tesla by 115 miles. So just taking that into consideration, Lucid has a lot of potential and there's a lot of upside that we could see with this stock. And no matter the fact that we were able to time our entries correctly, I'm so excited, I'm happy, and congratulations. This is what patience gives you inside of the stock market. But one thing that I want you to be aware of here, they are a new company. So we can end up having some offerings that are going to be coming down the road because they want to expand, they want to improve their operations, they want to dominate. So this is one thing you need to tell yourself. Are you going to be willing to actually stick around for this and deal with this? Or are you going to be saying, well, you know what, I'm just going to take some profits as it gains some momentum? Again, decide this for you. Don't let anyone else do this, all right? Because I know many times you'll be inside of a play, something happens, it pulls back, and then you're like, man, I should have gotten out. Or you know what, I shouldn't have listened to him on YouTube and so on. Know what you want to do. Do your homework. Do your due diligence. Do what works best in your particular situation. Do not be influenced. And I'm going to continue to say this in all of my videos because I say if you're going to be inside of a play, especially for the long term, you need to have high conviction and you can't lose sight of that. If you don't, then by all means, do not go long term. And I'm going to continue to be transparent. You may not hear a lot of that on YouTube, but one thing that you do know for sure, I'm a shareholder. I'm excited for the future and I can't wait to see how everything else unfolds. So I hope you enjoyed this video and we'll be talking real soon.